Hello student, today we are going to learn about the half wave rectification. This is the half wave rectification circuit. This is the input that we are applying. This is your diode and this is the resistance that we have taken on 22 kilo ohm. And when you apply the input, the positive input, this is going to get forward wise and you are going to get the same output you are going to get at same as the input. But if you see, it is going to take some time, this much amount of time to reach 0.7 volt, then only you are going to get the output. And here again, after this one, if the input is getting fall below 0.07, and then only you are going to get 0. So this is the real output that you are going to get. This is a half wave rectification. Now you reverse this diode, you are going to get this in only in negative half will be rectified, and in positive you are going to get the 0. Now if you see, we wanted to get DC, but we are not getting DC, we are getting pulsating DC, means it is consisting of both AC as well as DC. Now if you can calculate the VRMS, root mean square value of this value, this output voltage, VRMS will be V0 component, but 0th component, first harmonic, second harmonic, and till nth harmonic. Now 0 harmonic is called as VDC now, and this remaining is called as VAC, because here there is no frequency component, that is why it is called as VDC, otherwise these all are called as VAC. Now this will be treated as VRMS square equal to, means if you see here, VRMS square is equal to VDC square plus VAC square, because we have considered all this term as AC and this is your DC. Now VRMS minus VDC is going to give you VAC square. Now if you calculate VAC component, it will be VRMS square minus VDC DC. Now actual main to find out that our main aim was to find that DC value, to get the DC value, but we are not getting the DC, we are getting the AC also. So actually we found out how much AC component is there, this one, and we want that much amount of AC component to calculate. That is going to given by the name ripple factor, means how much ripple is present in your DC component. The AC divided by DC will give you VAC divided by VDC will give you the ripple component. The AC component of this value by DC is going to give you the ripple factor. Now this is given by that formula that we have termed VRMS square by minus VDC square by VDC. This is going to give you the ripple factor. Theoretically you are going to see 1.21, and we are going to calculate the positive rectification, means when there is positive side in output, and for the negative rectification also we are going to calculate it. Now if you see the efficiency, how efficiency is given, actually we wanted DC, and because of VDC the power would be VD square by RL. This is the power that we wanted, but actually we are getting this value, and this is, if you calculate, this is given by RMS, VRMS square by RL. Actually we are getting this one, so VRMS square by RL. So efficiency will be given by VDC square by VRMS square, means efficiency is around 40.5%. Now here also we are going to calculate for positive rectification and negative rectification. Now we are going to go on the circuit. Now if you see, this is your diode that has been applied, this is the input that we have applied, and this is the resistance across which we are taking the output, and from yellow we are taking the output. Let me zoom out and show all the experimental setup. Now this is your experimental setup. From here I am applying the input, and this is your channel 1, here input has been considered, and this is your channel 2 where we are taking the output. Now let me zoom on DSO and study further. Now if you see, this is this is the input that we are given, and the output we are going to get, this is the output that we got it. Now we are making on the same scale. Now if you see, this is the measurement here, this is the measurement of input. The maximum value is 10.8, and the minimum it is minus 10.8. But you see there is a bit change because function generator is not so smooth, so that our input will be fluctuating. Now sometimes it will be going to get 11 volt, and here it is minus 10.8 volt, and because of that there will be some changes in the calculation, which exact we can't get. Now if you see how to get this measurement, now you go to measure, and this is your channel, means there are 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this fifth also. If you want to measure something, suppose we want to measure the frequency of this signal. Now go to channel 1, I have to go, and second one is your, now here it is written type. Now change it. Now this will give RMS, minimum, maximum, rise time, fall time, position weight, negative weight of this signal. Now this is the frequency that we wanted to measure, and this is the frequency it will be giving. Same way we have done for this one. The yellow one will be giving the input parameter, and blue one is going to give you the output parameter. And actually we are interested in the blue one because we wanted to get the know that how much RMS is there and how much DC is there. Now if you calculate, the DC is 3.61 and RMS is 5.51. Now let me jot it down. It is 3.61 and it is 5.51 I have taken. Now this is the DC that this signal have. Now let me switch off the signal. Now if you want to just study the output blue one, then switch off this one. You are just going to get this one. Now again put measure. Now you are going to get this is the half wave rectifier, this is the DC component, and this is the your AC component. And with the input, if you want to study, switch on the input, and this is the input, and alongside we are going to get the rectified signal. Now again go to measure, then it will show mean as well as the RMS value. Now actually we are interested in mean and the AC for the ripple rectification, but here we are getting RMS and mean. From here also we can calculate by squaring this and this, we can calculate the AC. If you want to calculate the AC here only, then for that what you want to go, just press the channel 2 button, and here if you see the coupling, DC coupling means whatever the input that we have applied, same output you are going to get, nothing is going to. And if you do the AC coupling, then it will just filter out your AC component that we were deriving with the formula VAC is equal to root over V RMS square minus V DC square. This is simply going to give from here. Now again go to measure. Now if you see your VAC, this cycle RMS is nothing but your VAC. Now if you see this VAC, I have jotted down 3.90, and if you see the mean of this value, there must not be any DC component because we have just filtered out AC. This is around 129 or 127 millivolt, means it is almost equal to 0. Now if I change, now let me, so if I change diode, see this is diode, if I change diode, now this will be showing the negative rectification. See this is the negative rectification has been done. Now let me again study, now let me make to again AC DC coupling. Now this is your ground coupling, means 0 it will show, and let me make to DC coupling. Now when we have made the DC coupling, now if you see the measurement is other way. Initially it was mean value was 3.61, now mean value is minus 3.08. This is because the input and output is not same. If you see this input, maximum value and minimum value is not same. Because of this minimum value, we are getting a lesser mean value. Because the function generator is not able to generate the exact value. That is because of this only you are getting lesser mean value. Now if I write minus 3.07, minus is only because it is on negative side. We are just interested in the magnitude. And if you see the cycle RMS, initially it was 5.52, now it is 4.80. Now this is all the practical we are doing. That is why we are seeing all this abnormalities, because the input that we wanted, we are not getting exact input. If we are giving 11 volt signal, the maximum must be 11 volt and minimum must be also 11 volt. But here maximum you are getting 11.2 and the minimum you are getting minus 10.8. And if you want to calculate the AC component of this signal, now this is the DC component and this is the RMS. Now if you want to calculate the AC, now go to channel 2 again, put AC coupling. Now you are going to again go to measure. This is the measure button. If I place this measure button, now if you see, that is the measure button. Now I have pressed that measure button, and if you see, the mean is around 0, minus 81.4 millivolt. And now this cycle RMS is going to give you the AC component. It is 3.47. Now this is the AC component that has been given. Now if you want to see that what we were talking initially, this is taking some time to get minus. Now if it is in positive, because I have explained in the positive, let me connect to positive. Now if you see, this is the exact output. It is taking some time to reach 0.7, then only our output is starting. And again, when the input was 0.7, here only you are getting the 0. This is exact output that we will get. But at the high frequency, we neglect all this one. Now let me go to again DC mode. Then here you cannot see much. See, here we cannot see much about that. If I made to AC, this is the pure AC that we have seen. This is taking this much time to go there. Now let us calculate whatever that we are reading we have taken. Now here if you see the calculation part, for positive rectification we have calculated DC was 3.61 and RMS was 5.52. Now calculated efficiency is 42.76, which is almost equal to 40.5. See, here we are getting efficiency more than this one. Why? This is because of that fluctuation in the input. Now if I see the negative rectification, now in negative rectification, when we have rectified the negative portion, means when our output was this way, this output, for that we have calculated VDC was around 3.07 and 3.07 square divided by 4.80 square. Now the VRMS was 4.80. For that we got 40.9% that efficiency. See, in both cases the efficiency is different. It is just because of the input that we have given. It was not of good standard, because the function generator was unable to generate that good frequency where Vmax and Vmin magnitude are both equal. Now if you see the ripple factor calculation, theoretically it is 1.21, and if you go with the formula that we have calculated, VRMS 5.52 and 3.36 VDC, for that you are going to get 1.15. Now that VAC that we have seen on the DSO, it was 3.90, and VAC that we have seen because of the RMS and because of DC, it is 4.17. See, there is a difference. This is all because of that of DSO. Now it must be equal. In here the AC component that we calculated by AC coupling, it was 3.90, and by here this also we have taken from the DSO only 5.52 and 3.6. Here we got 4.175, but still there is some difference. This is all because of DSO is not ideal. See, this is all the non-ideality factor is coming. And if you calculate the form vector with this that we have taken 3.90 by 3.61, this is the VDC that we have, it is 1.08. It is almost close to 1.21. Here that we have calculated 1.15. Now if you go with the negative, where for negative rectification, this is the negative rectification that we have done. For that the calculated value is 1.20. The ripple that we have normal formula that this we got it VRMS, and this is the minus 3.07 that we have taken the VDC, and by VDC we got it by this way. Now when we have taken VAC by AC coupling, it was 3.47, and by this calculator it is coming around 3.6. Still there is some difference. This is all because of DSO, because this we are seeing in DSO, and the coupling has been done on DSO, and this is because of DSO. And here that problem was occurring, this is because of function generator. This function generator was unable to give the Vmax and Vmin. Here also if you see the ripple is 3.47 and 3.47 that we have VAC that we have calculated, and VDC that we have calculated, that we have taken from the lab from DSO 3.07, it is 1.13. Now if you see, there is difference between positive and negative rectification. This is because of function generator. Now we have seen where the function generator non-ideality came into picture and where DSO non-ideality came into picture. Now let me show some with the LED. LED is also called as light emitting diode. With LED we are going to see that circuit. Now this is that LED I have connected, and this is your resistance that I have taken. This is the input that we have applied, and from here we are taking the output. Now if you see, if I decrease that frequency, now let me zoom the function generator as well as this out. Here you are not able to see the flickering, means one cycle on and one cycle off. Let me decrease this frequency level to 10 Hz. See, around 0 Hz or 0.13 Hz, 2 Hz, it is flickering. Now if I increase the frequency, the rate at which it will be changing, it will be more. See, flickering is happening. See, as I change the frequency, it is happening. Now what does this flickering consist? For one cycle it is on, and for another cycle it is off. This is what that flickering represents. This is the demonstration of half wave rectifier. So this was all about the half wave rectification.